What is up, guys? It's Twister8, and today we've got some Dead or Alive 5 last round. This is a video talking about if you should buy this game or not, since there was a lot of controversy with this game, especially its PC port in specific. So I'll be talking first about the gameplay, and then I'll be talking about what's so controversial about the game. So first I'll show you, I'll show you a little bit about what you get when you buy the game. Basically you get a story mode, a fighting mode which includes versus, arcade, time attack, survival, team fight, self-explanatory, a training mode in which you can free train, command training, practice move for each character's tutorials, and the combo challenge, which basically you do combos that the game tells you. You get a spectator, so you can watch all your saved replays, an album to share your photos you can capture through Steam, movies, fight records, titles. And then the options menu is the game settings, which you can control the type of camera you get, the hit effect, dirt, if you want your characters to have dirt, the sweat and water, which I always keep on, and then the breast motion, how much you want the girl's breasts to sway. So we'll go on Dead or Alive. Fight screen info, which just tells you these things, and the random filter, so you can choose what not to show up when you click random. The controls are not rebindable, so you have to choose one of the, actually no, they are custom. Oh, I didn't notice it. I'll stick with the type A. Screen, you can just control the how bright or light you want the game to be. Actually, one thing, and then as you see, there is nothing that tells you you can't change the graphics options in this game. Basically, there's a launcher at the start which allows you to change the resolution, which I'm at 1920 by 1080, and it can go up to 4K if I'm correct, and then the shadow resolution, which I'm as high as you can go. And I think there's one more thing, but there's no slider. There's nothing that lets you change from ultra to high to medium, nothing like that. So you can't customize any of the graphics in this game. You can only customize basically shadow textures and screen size. For sounds, you got sliders for music, sound effects, voice. The system voice, I actually have Kazumi's. You can choose different system voices if you beat the character's combo challenge. So that's what you get if you beat the combo challenge in training. And the language, you can choose between Japanese, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Chinese, Korean, Japanese. For the menus, and then for voices, between Japanese and English. I'm okay with the English, so I'll stick with that. Music, just a bunch of music for each character. And then to close the game, so I'll start by showing you. So let's start with some gameplay, and honestly, this game doesn't have too much that makes it unique apart from, like I said, the boob bouncing and the overly sexualized females. Not really much to differentiate itself, except for rock paper mechanic that they have in this game, which makes it so you can't spam one certain ability too much. In this case, if you spam punch, your opponent can parry it by using the correct combo to parry. And if they, to make sure that the opponent isn't always trying to parry, there's the grapple mechanic, so you can grapple, your grapples go through their parries. And then to make sure people aren't spamming grapples, you can punch. So punch gets beaten by parry, parry gets beaten by grapple, and grapple gets beaten by punch. So that's basically the biggest mechanic of the game. You also have special attacks, super strong attacks that you can only activate when you're less than half health, and you can only activate it once per round. There's also destructible environments, and you can interact with the background a little bit. It's limited as to how much you can. I'll see if I can get behind her. Actually, I don't think I will. Oh no. She's got me, I think. Nope. So that's basically the combat in a nutshell. If you're looking for a nice looking game with basically an emphasis on the boobs and the ass of the girls, you can also move around the screen, and so you can check everything. If that's what you're looking for, then this game's definitely got you covered. The gameplay is fun enough, it's interesting enough, and you can play. The combos of basically it's just a fun fighting game with lots of eye candy to see. Now let's talk a little bit more about the PC. And like I said, you can't customize any of the game's settings in game. Basically graphics settings. No texture filters, no nothing like that. The game's fighting actually runs at 60 FPS for me. I run a i5 460. I think that's 440, 4,460. There we go. And an R9 290. So that's a pretty standard build, and it runs at 60 for me all the time. The cutscenes in between the game run at 30, and the menus are all at 30. This part right here is running at 30. So that's it. The actual gameplay actually runs at 60, so that's pretty nice. No problem with that. Now, time to talk about a little bit about the controversy with the game, is that the actual particle effects are all running on the PS3 model, on the PS3 engine, which means that the particle effects aren't as shiny or as cool as they would be on the PS4 version, which is kind of annoying. You don't really notice it in-game, but it's kind of annoying to know that the game could look better, but just for unknown reasons, the developers decided not to put those better looking features in the game. So that's a little bit annoying. Another thing is that the game's soft, I think it was touch engine, is not in the game, which means the skin and the boob effects are supposed to look a little bit more realistic, or move a bit more. I don't really have too much of a problem with it, but it still is annoying knowing that there is a better version of the game out there, and that's the PS4 version, and we're paying the same price for a lower down version. Gameplay wise, there isn't anything worse on the PC version, but there's also 2 maps missing. Actually, there's 2 maps that we can't get, and there seems to be a lot of weird things going on with the game, such as changing your name can corrupt your save files, and changing your Steam name can corrupt your save files, and it's just stuff like that. Oh crap. It's and no Steam achievements, which is extremely weird. Why there's no Steam achievements? Those are the best thing to have. And that's really the biggest problems with the game. I'm gonna let her beat me so I can finish this. But that's the biggest problem with the game, is no settings for the game. You can't customize the game's settings. You have lower particle effects and no soft touch engine. And that's really the biggest problem with that people have with the game. The gameplay wise, it's all good. The girls all look good. As you can tell, it's sexual as always. This port's actually running at 30. And new titles, nice ass. But gameplay wise, the game still is fun. If you play the PS3 version, the PC version is great. It gives you all of the DLC that's basically on the consoles, or at least from what I had on the consoles, it gave me all of it. So it's a good value, but it's not the best version of the game. The best version of the game is on the PS4. It's kind of annoying to know that you don't get the best version of the game. But if you should buy the game or not, that's up to you. If you're just fine with a butchered down version of the PS4, then this game is great. If you don't really care about that kind of stuff, the particle effects and the boobs looking as realistic as they possibly could, then you won't have a problem with this game. If you do want to support better ports of video games and want to show Tecmo that you're not okay with them basically having a lower version of the game, then don't buy the game. But if you're okay with a lower version of the game and you just are really itching to get into a fighting game on the PC, then this game is definitely a good game, and one that I would say that you should get if you're just looking for a fun fighting game, or you're just horny, basically. But hopefully you like this video. That's basically all I had to say about the game. I can't customize the details. Weirdly enough, some of the things, some of the costumes. Let's see if I can find a costume, such as this one. It's talking about details here, A, B, C, and D, but I can't tell what details. I would assume that it's the underwear color, but they don't actually show you. You can't see. Oh, and I forgot to talk about the critical burst, the power blow, and the power launcher. Another thing with this game, the critical burst is your if you can basically paralyze your enemy for like a second if you do a correct combo with the Tenshin Sho. The power blow is your ultimate attack, which I already showed, and the power launcher is just to launch your enemies in the air so you can juggle them. But that's basically it for my review of Dead or Alive Last Round. It's very fun. It has a lot of characters. And this one's actually based off Love Live, anime character, Monika. So if you guys have any questions on anything else about the game, any other questions about the PC port, Definitely leave them in the comments and tell me if you guys are going to be buying this game or not. Do you care that it's a lower down version of the PS4, or you just really want to play a fighting game? Hey, two things that I actually somehow forgot to talk about. Well, one thing I just noticed after recording is that for some weird reason, in between fights, during the small cutscenes or in between loading times, the mic glitches out. I don't know if you noticed the little robotic voice. When my voice sounded a little bit robotic in between rounds or in between little cutscenes. I'm not sure what's up with that. And another thing I completely forgot to talk about is the online mode. The online mode is actually going to be offline, basically, for 3 months. And that's a huge problem. A huge problem. Basically, fighting games survive based off their online mode, so people can play online with other people, get ranked, play with other friends, stuff like that. And this game does not have that for 3 months for no reason, honestly. The game was delayed for an extra month, and we still have to wait 3 months after that. I thought maybe, even though it was delayed, maybe we'd only have to wait 2 months. But no, we still have to wait 3 months for the online to be even put up. And who knows how many people are going to be playing on the PC online in 3 months. That's a big problem. I completely forgot to talk about that. So basically, if you're just straight up going to get this game for online only, don't buy it. Or if you do buy it 3 months after release, which would be, what, July? I think? Something like that. So if you're going to buy this game for only online, then wait 3 months. Or, yeah, that's what I would suggest. If you're like me and you're terrible at this game and you only want to fight bots so you can make yourself feel good, then yeah, that doesn't really matter to you. But if you're somebody that likes to play online, likes to play with other people, and likes to just dominate the competition, you will not be doing that in this game for 3 months, which is ridiculous. It makes no sense. I don't know what they were thinking, what they were doing. You know, not being able to play online for that long of a time for a fighting game is almost suicide. Almost. We'll see how it affects him, really. And yeah, that's the last things that I forgot to talk about. Basically, the online pass. So yeah, that should affect how much you want to get the game or not. That should make you might make you rethink buying the game or not, if you were looking forward to a online fighting game, because you'll have to wait 3 months for that. That's just a pain in the ass. But that's honestly the last thing I wanted to talk about. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you like this costume. Look, this is what this is what you're buying for. But hopefully you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.